Today we begin with a new chapter, it is chapter 41. Sayamdeo's unflinching devotion. This chapter describes Sayamdeo's coming to Guru Nath and the test of faith he was put to by Guru Nath. Guru Nath relates to the story of Twasta who sets out with determination to fulfill the impossible demands of his Guru and the latter's family members. This chapter is an allegorical description of self-realization. Sayamdeo is the Sadhaka, the aspirant. The dark night with heavy downpour symbolizes the dark night of the soul. Fire represents knowledge and wisdom. As Sayamdeo returned to near the Sangam, he heard the chant of the Vedas, that is Anahata Nada. The Omkara Dhwani. Once again, I'll read this. As Sayamdeo returned to the Sangam, he heard the chant of the Vedas, that is Anahata Nada, the Omkara Dhwani, which is always reverberating in one's own heart as well as in the entire universe. There, he had a glimpse of the Sadguru in full splendor of the moonlight. Clouds of ignorance cleared off. The fire of knowledge was lit, and Sayamdeo had the clear vision of the Sadguru. That was Sakshatkara, the state of realization. Sakshatkara means you experience God. It is God realization or self-realization. Very good morning. Jai Shri Krishna Guru. Thank you for joining Shri Guru Charitra Satsang. Wishing you all a very happy Wednesday. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswataya Namaha, Om Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Guru Charitra Satsang. So let us begin what this chapter is all about and learn something very beautiful today. Namdarak said to Siddhamuni that listening to the Guru Charitra was like drinking nectar. He said his mind was getting rid of all doubts and dross and was being filled with new light. He said he felt so blessed indeed. He told Siddha Yogi that he felt very much interested to know the details about his ancestor Sayamdeo, who was a devotee and close disciple of Guru Nath and who used to earlier live at Vasar Brahmeshwar but later at Gangapur itself. Sayamdeo used to be very dear to Guru Nath and he was very happy that he was born in the line of such blessed devotees of Lord. Then Siddhamuni narrated as under. Sayamdeo came to know that Guru Nath was now residing at Gangapur. It was Guru Nath that saved him from the claws of death. From being killed by the Muslim chief 16 years ago, he was eager to have Guru Nath's darshan again and spend the rest of his life in the service at his feet. He trekked to Gangapur. He fell prostrate at Guru Nath's feet and prayed that he should not forsake him. He poured out his prayers to Guru Nath. He said, "Your lotus feet is the confluence of the holy waters of all the sacred rivers and all the holy places. All the nectar of the heavens is in your kamandalu." Kamandalu is those small pot. It's a copper pot which the gurus carry with them. A small, I don't know how to say in English, but it's like a pot. Very small. I'm sure you must have seen how we keep the kalash or we keep some water next to the god, but it's not that small, but a little copper vessel, and it's shaped in like a pot, and it has a handle to it, and the gurus carry it. It's called kamandalu. Tears of joy. All the nectars of heavens is in your kamandalu only. Your charan tirtha drives away death. Charantrita is the holy water with which the lotus feet of the Guru is washed, and we take it as Charantirth. And just a little sprinkling of it is enough to resurrect the dead. It is too presumptuous on my part to try to put into articulation your inexpressible and infinite glory. Absolutely true. What he's saying is so true. We try to express in words about the infinite glories of this great Guru. Even today, my Krishna Guruji's glories are far beyond, and it's not even known in the world. It's so beautiful that you cannot even comprehend adequately with words. There are no words to describe his greatness, his glory, his grandeur, and how he appears to be just an ordinary human being who has manifested in a body. That is how these great gurus are. No matter how much we try to comprehend them, they are indescribable. You cannot even fathom them. They are unfathomable, inscrutable. So how do you even understand? You cannot. You just have to experience with that little grace that they bestow upon you. And with that grace, you just have to have absolute devotion. And this whole chapter is about unflinching devotion of Sayamdeo, who is one of the most favorite student of Lord Narsimha Saraswati. So let us see what happens to Sayamdeo. Please remember, the dearest that you are to the Gurudev, to your master, so many different tests he's going to put on your path. He doesn't physically do it, but the tests are going to come to see how much you stand that faith and devotion unto the lotus feet of your Gurudev, and how much this knowledge actually has embedded within you. So it is important to constantly test the devotees and the disciples. My Guruji will always say, see, remember, you go to school, and when you go to school, you study for years. So from first standard, you're going to go to second standard, but you have to give an annual exam. Why is the final examination extremely important? Because it only shows, have you studied whatever has been taught? Are you qualified to move to the next level? But if you have not studied the basic lesson, what you have been taught, how can you go to the next step? So even in spirituality, or even in our world, if we do not pass the test, if we have not understood the lessons imparted to us, whatever we have learning here, if we haven't done our sadhana, if we haven't practiced that lesson, and we don't start living in this world, then how can you move to the next stage? How can you evolve on the path of spirituality? So the tests are extremely important to understand how much devoted you are to your Gurudev, that one alone, the truth, who is always there with you. How much does God mean to you in your life? And whatever the Guru has imparted, these beautiful lessons, the profound truth, are you living those lessons or not? See, very simple lesson. My Guruji will tell me one very simple thing: be your good self. You don't have to get angry. You don't have to be like anybody else. If you get angry, then what's the difference between the world and you? They are anyways so human beings. They are mere mortals, and they're filled with ignorance. But you're getting this knowledge. When we get this knowledge, it is for us to apply that lesson. Just 2 days ago, my Guruji was teaching me this very important lesson. See, please remember, I'm not even interested about my number 2, number 3, number 4 disciples. You being and studying with me for so many years, if you are not going to live these lessons, who else can I ask for? So you have to perfect that knowledge. It is not about somebody else. We're not here for pointing out other people's mistakes. So you have to perfect yourself. And another most important thing that he taught also, see, when we study whatever we are learning, we believe, oh, I have been able to apply this lesson. So he said, don't even gloat over saying that you have done something right. Why is this knowledge coming to you? So that you can correct all your imperfections and become spiritually perfect. So it is extremely important to identify what is that you're not able to overcome, and then apply that knowledge so that you're able to overcome that, your tendencies, your vasanas, your inherent nature, and whatever the challenges you have, your attachments, whatever that you think are your negative tendencies, or the demonic, evil propensities or demonic dispositions that exist within this body. So you have to fight all the demons, overcome that which is pulling you down. So the spiritual knowledge is extremely important for us to perfect, which is the spiritual knowledge has to be perfected within us, and the material worldly imperfections have to be removed, and you have to understand the truth alone. So being my good self or being your good self is extremely important lesson to follow. Just being your good self, how beautiful it is. But is it so easy to live that lesson? Of course not. Being good is not difficult, but as a human being, our mind comes, we make judgments. So just that one simple lesson is not understood by anybody, because we are immediately trying to judge. We kind of say something good or bad. We're always, swaying between the pairs of opposites. So all that is something that we have to overcome. Everybody who's on the path of spirituality, and everybody's journey is individual. So I will have to fight something else, you will have to fight whatever your tendencies are. So we all evolve in our own way. And please remember, the spiritual journey is to going inwards and not going outwards. So coming back, it is too presumptuous on my part to try to put into articulation your inexpressible and infinite glory. Of course, it's so beautiful, the divine glory of the Lord, the Guru. It's very difficult to even try to comprehend it. Tears of joy welling out from the depths of his heart, were trickling down from his eyes, drenching the feet of the Guru Nath. How beautiful it is. That's all you need. That devotion unto the lotus feet of your Gurudev and Lord Shri Krishna. That is all is required for you to sail through this material worldly existence in a safe manner and attain the lotus feet of the divine Lord Almighty. It's enough to be in bondage. We need to redeem ourselves and redeem people associated with this human being, human body. Guru Nath was pleased and clasping Sayamdeo closely, told him that his grace would be forever on him and his family. He asked him to go to the Sangam and bathe there, which would wash away all his past sins. He asked him to come back to the mutt after the bath for food. After Sayamdeo had his food, Guru Nath inquired of him with great solicitude all the details of his family and their welfare. Sayamdeo told him that he would now come away permanently to live at Gangapur for serving the master. Shri Guru Nath said that it was not easy for anyone to do service to him properly and satisfactorily. Oh my God. This is a very important lesson. See, Guru Nath has his own way. He's very unique. He's an Avaduta. And he's God Almighty, Lord Dattatreya. Who is Lord Dattatreya? He's the Trimurti, the Supreme Master, who's none other than Lord Shri Krishna himself. And you think it's going to be so easy to serve this great Guru? You have to wear yourself out. There are too many tests that's going to come your way. The Gurus are going to be constantly testing you. For nth time, my Krishna Guruji will be testing all of us. And I will say, oh, did I fall for your test once again? And he says, what do you think? I'm not going to test you? Of course, that is how the great masters work. They're constantly going to check your devotion and your faith and whether you're standing these lessons that he has imparted to you or not. See, because it is very easy to fall off the path, but very difficult to keep rising above. So the tests are extremely important to see how well you evolve. The evolving on the path of spirituality is extremely important, for which the Guru is always going to keep checking where you stand at all points in time. And most importantly, he's never going to tell you when he's going to test you. It's going to come when you least expect it to come. And it's very unique and it's very beautiful. The journey seems slightly painful. It's not slightly, it is quite painful. It's because you have to go through a lot of things. There are a lot of challenges that's going to come. Things are not going to be easy. For every small thing, you will have to fight out. And you have to stand the test of the truth, the dharma and everything else. At that time, either you can break down or you can rise above with that strength, knowing that Lord Almighty is with you. The Guru's benediction, the hand of his grace is always on your head. So nothing shall befall you. Having this absolute faith is what you need. And it is not easy to have this faith. What are the 4 things that is quite important? One is absolute faith. Complete surrender. When you say absolute faith, it is not 99.99%, it is 100%. Then what? Complete surrender. Unconditional pure love. Unconditional love is what you need to have with your Gurudev. You cannot question him, you cannot doubt him. You cannot say, you're favoring somebody else, you're not favoring me. See, this is all the creation of your mind. That is called Maya. So never fall prey to the self-conceit and deceit of your mind, because it is always going to instigate you against your Gurudev and the Divine Lord Almighty. Why? Because it doesn't want you to rise above. It always wants you to be, submissive to the mind itself. So never ever fall prey to the mind. And what else is required? Exclusive devotion. The single pointed devotion is what the gurus will seek, and with the God Almighty is also checking whether I mean most important to you in your life, or you're bothered about the Maya in this world. So who plays a very important role? Who is the number one? So that is also going to be tested to you constantly. So be very careful. So if you say you're a devotee of your Gurudev, you have to just surrender to him. So here also Sayamdeo is going to be tested by Guru Nath. So here it is said, Sayamdeo told that he would now comes away permanently to live at Gangapur for serving the master. Shri Guru Nath said that it was not easy for anyone to do service to him properly and satisfactorily. Properly and satisfactorily. What does that mean? Properly means you have to be absolute perfect in service unto the Guru. My Krishna Guruji has taught us the highest of the disciple and the devotee will anticipate everything even before the words from the Guru's mouth has come. And today it is very difficult to have such a disciple or a devotee exist. It is not so easy. How do you understand the Divine Lord Almighty? What is the next thing he needs? You have to anticipate and do things. And for us, we always fall short of that anticipation. You know what? First is Guruji will say, can you please do it? That also we will not listen. You know what? I will do it at my own time. I will do it later. Guruji, yes, I will do. That's how we say. But what is most important? You have to immediately do it. At least that means you're a good devotee. You can't become the highest devotee, because highest devotee and disciple are those who can anticipate and do things for the Gurudev. But here we are not even, forget about anticipation. That's a far off thing. When your Guru says, at least obey that command. That also we don't want to. We want to use our mind. We'll say, Guruji, yes, I will do it. And that do it will never happen. That do it will happen at our sweet time. That doesn't work like this. And yesterday my Guruji was giving a very profound lesson in Bhagavad Gita. And in that he says, Lord Shri Krishna says, I am the mighty Kal. Kal is me. And don't ever try to, think that you can get away with whatever you say. Time is very important. Time is essential. Lord Shri Krishna has explained this not only in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Uddhav Gita, and everything. He says the same thing. I am the very essence of time. I am time myself. I am the mighty Kal. So what are you then saying? If you say you will do it later, that later will never happen. And then what happens? You fall off your duties, and then you incur karma, you incur sins. So that is one of the reasons why the Gurus teach you how to do things in time. And the moment the words have been uttered from the mouth of the Guru, you have to immediately obey it. You cannot be tamasic and say, I will do it later. That later never comes. And whatever you have been asked, that moment is gone, and that opportunity will never come back. So don't ruin. Please understand, time is very important. Time is very essential. So you've got to be extremely careful about how you perform. And see, these are the tests. I'm just giving you an example. Here, these are the kind of tests that you will be put into. This is just an example. The test can vary. For somebody, they might be perfect in their timing. So they will be able to perform that. But some other people, they might not be able to keep up their timing. That's going to be their disadvantage. And that is what the Guru is going to test you. That which you're weak in. Why? Because he wants you to perfect that. He wants you to become perfect in your spiritual knowledge, spiritual path, and spiritual understanding. That is what he cares about. So here Guru Nath is saying, it's not easy for anyone to do service to him properly and satisfactorily. Today there is nobody who can offer such a service. It's very rare, That is exactly why he's saying so. And then it will be too arduous for anyone. What does that mean? Too arduous. You have to put a lot of effort in doing the seva to the Guru. You think it is so important, it's so easy to do seva to the Guru? Of course not. It is not at all easy. We think, seva to the Guru is very easy. I will just press his feet. That is all my seva. No, that is just a small aspect. That is your devotion. Seva doesn't mean that you come and press his feet. That is a way of expressing your devotion. Seva means you have to wear yourself out physically also. Physically, how do you wear yourself out? You clean, you do everything on your own, right? You're not expecting a help. When you go to an ashram, when we say ashram, again, it's the word ashram is very different. When you go to the place where the guru is residing, that is his abode, that is the ashram. And when you say I want to do service, you will have to get up and volunteer and do things, not just sit there and wait for others to serve you. That is not what it is. Seva is a very beautiful thing. You will have to take part in everything. It doesn't mean like you tell me I will do. Why? Because you say, okay, I want to do service. But how do you do service? You have to volunteer. You have to take initiative. That is what the Guruji says. You have to be a part of that whole process, that whole activity. You have to involve yourself. Nobody is going to come and tell you do this, but you have to volunteer yourself. And then when you take a responsibility, you need to ensure that you complete that task. It is extremely important. So serving the master is not so easy. You have to put arduous effort. Arduous effort is only then will you evolve. The guru is constantly checking you. See, because it is very easy to fall off the path of spirituality because tamas is predominant. And what happens to a human being? They become inertia, lethargy, tamasic, laziness is filled within them. So if you tell them do this or sweep or do some work, they don't want to physically do it. They want somebody else to doing for them. And in Krishna Ashram, my Krishna Guruji teaches how to do things by ourselves. He is true date never taught us to take some help or have some help to do our job. No, never. But he, on the contrary, he teaches us how to do things, as super fast. I'm not joking. My Guruji can cook the entire meal in an hour's time. He's like such a super fast being, and I get really amazed, and I take a lot of time to make something, but he will make the same thing in half the amount of time that I would take. That is the kind of power my Guruji holds. He's practiced it. You have to become perfect like that. We have to learn from the master and perfect, like become the perfect being ourselves. We have to perfect like him. It is not going to come overnight, but what is important is practicing sadhana. That is what we say in spirituality. What the Guruji teaches is the sadhana aspect. He's going to make you do the same thing over and over and over and over again till you become strong, till that whole exercise or the task becomes a part of your being. I'll give you a very beautiful example of a movie. It's called Karate Kid. I don't know if you've watched this movie or not. It's about Jackie Chan and Will Smith's son. You must watch this movie. It's a very beautiful movie if you haven't watched that. In that, Jackie Chan is that master. And you know what? When Will Smith's son, I don't know what his name is, he's that Karate Kid. So he goes to his master and he says, okay, master, now teach me, And what is the first thing Jackie Chan teaches? He drops his jacket, the kid's jacket. And he says, please lift it, turn it around and again, hang it back. And pick it up, drop it down and then lift it, turn it around and hang it back. That is all. And this lesson goes on for a long period in time. Finally, this kid says, you are not teaching me any karate. You are just teaching me nothing. What am I here to do? What am I learning here? And then this kid gets frustrated. And after a point, when finally, after many months, when this kid finally gets frustrated and says, okay, I don't think you're teaching me any karate, and he wants to leave. And then his master then makes him fight with him and then shows what he has made him. By doing that exercise for over a period of time, he's made that muscle become strong. He's made, the boy's, the strength, the core very strong, so that he's able to, punch now. He's able to, whatever the positions in a karate that's required, he's able to do those things. But what does the child think? Oh, my Guruji is making me do the same thing. He doesn't even know karate. He's not even teaching me. This is how we think. But is that how it is? No. The master knows how to make you perfect in a particular job. See, in the spirituality, when you're under the Guruji, no Harvard in this universe, or you name the topmost institution in this world, no IITs or Harvards of this world can teach what this Guru teaches. And that is a real knowledge. that knowledge which nobody can is qualified to give you. I'm not even talking about the spiritual knowledge, but that knowledge which the Guru imparts helps you in your material world. It's very beautiful. My Guruji was teaching just 2 days ago. We were sitting where there was a borewell being dug, and all of us are sitting and watching that. And suddenly my Guruji asked, do you know how many feet it has gone? And do you know what needs to be done at the next step? And none of us knew. We have not even done our homework. We didn't know anything about the subject. When should we stop? At what level should, the digging of the borewell should be stopped? When the water has come, how the water is going to come? We didn't know anything. We were like, those blind people who were sitting there and waiting for somebody else to give us direction. So this is where the real knowledge didn't exist within any of us. Why? Because we're not made an effort to go and study. What is knowledge all about? And this is the most important lesson which my Guruji always imparts. Everybody goes by blind, ignorance. They're all ignorant beings, and everybody talks from what the superfluous, surface level knowledge that they have, which is just being given by somebody else, and they believe that is how it is, blindly following it. Why? Because they have never bothered to study. They have not gone and understood the subject. And what does the Guru does? He says, first you go and study about the subject. If it is about borewell, understand how the water comes, where the water comes, when the water comes, and how does it work, how much depth you have to go, why you have to go, which area are you digging. All those things we have to learn. So you need to understand the subject, not just sit there like a fool person and full of it. We are also following those blind people and believing that they know too much. And that is when it was like, oh my God, every single time my Guruji will teach us in this way. And here was the practical demonstration of that. How do you learn? And he says, today people don't have knowledge. Everybody is getting educated because they want ranks. They want to get first rank, whatever score that they want to, because they want to get into a good college. From that good college, they want to get good job so that they can get money. But are you getting educated because you want knowledge? No, we are not getting educated because we want knowledge. We are getting educated because I want to land up in a good job which will pay me that much money. This is the way how we human beings are looking at life. But nobody is today aspiring to learn, that aspiration to gain real knowledge. We have never learned. This is exactly what my Guruji said. Nobody has knowledge. What does knowledge mean? It's not about the bookish knowledge. It is about the practical knowledge. You need to learn, and then you need to practically apply it. You need to experience. Today, nobody has a practical understanding about any subject. Whatever you have learning or learned is only theoretical. So having theoretical knowledge doesn't help. How do you know that it works exactly in the same way? Yes, you have certain formula, everything. But till you don't apply that formula, do you know that that is the result it's going to yield? Or that is the result it's going to give? You don't know. So you have to practically be there to experience it. And this is how Krishna Guruji teaches. He will give you the practical experience, whether it could be cooking, whether it is cleaning the house, whether it is even the simplest task. Practically, he will demonstrate. Practically, he will teach you. He will make you go through. This is the mark of a real master. That is his nature, Charitra. What does it mean? The real nature of a guru. One who can make you teach. He hand holds you and walks you through that path and makes you learn. Sometimes he'll just leave you. His methods are very, very weird. He will make you fall even 10 times. Doesn't matter. Because he knows you have to get up and run the 11th time also. Doesn't matter. His methods are very unique. It's beyond human mind's ken and understanding, and in the way we can adequately even comprehend what he's trying to do and how he's trying to teach us. And that is why here Guru Nath is saying, you need to put in arduous efforts, because the Gurus is only going to see how much of effort can you put. He's going to put you into such a task, practical experience, to see whether you're able to do that or not. And then see where you stand, and then only he will make you go ahead in the next subject. He is not otherwise going to tell you, okay, now you can go ahead. No, never. My Guruji will always tell me, you have never gone depth and got educated. The real education is gaining knowledge about different subjects. It is not about the bookish knowledge. Yes, you have to read, but education, how does it come? When you make an effort to open the book and study, then you understand, then you go back and reread. Are we today putting so much of effort? Take the example of spiritual itself, right? We finished, I finished, narrating whatever. We do the exposition, this chapter, then we shut the book, we keep it away. After that, we are not even opening to check what have we studied, what is the lesson teaching us. We've never made an effort, which is the truth. Even I have done the same thing many years. My Guruji will say, have you gone back to the lessons that you have learned? No, you never go and open the book again to learn. This is how we are. Why? Because we are in the yuga called Kali Yuga. It's tamasic. We don't want to study. We don't want to do anything. The doership doesn't even exist within us. We're all expecting somebody else to do it for us. So how are you then going to understand what it means to learn? How will you get the knowledge then? Whether it is spiritual or material world. So gaining knowledge is extremely important. So my Guruji then taught us what is the things that we have to do. And we learned so many different things, calling people, then going and go, figuring out the details from the Google, trying to understand, talking to the experts. Then we understood how this whole thing works. And then my Guruji himself gave a practical understanding, how the machine works, how it has been automated, what is it trying to do. You need to understand this, the minutest of the details. So gaining knowledge is extremely important, and that comes with arduous effort, whether it is in spiritual or material world. So my Krishna Guruji is the greatest of, I have no word to say how great he is. He's the knowledge incarnate. He's the master of all subjects. There is no subject which my Guruji doesn't know on this planet Earth, and he studies 24/7. The one thing he does is just studying. Not that he needs any knowledge, but he keeps himself abreast of what is happening in the material world so that he can guide his disciples and devotees, or guide those who come to him. It doesn't mean that he doesn't know. He's all knowing, and he'll tell you, go study, you make an effort to learn, you have to train your algorithm. This is how he teaches. He says you have to make that effort. Till you don't make that effort, then how will you understand what it means to learn, and how you will become an example for rest of the world to follow? So first it begins with us. We have to become the best student. So then only we can set an example, not otherwise. So the point here, all the stories or the examples I gave is, it is important how the Guru teaches. So don't tell him how he should teach you. Never tell a master how he should teach you. He knows how he needs to teach you and what you have to learn. So go with that humility and humbleness. Become the clay in his hands, and then he can mold you. And when he molds you, it is very beautiful. Even for many years, I was also very egoistic. I didn't know how to learn with him in a submissive manner. Then I would tell him, I want to learn like this, I want to learn like that. But that is not how it works. And when you go, giving up your ego and mind and arrogance, and go with that attitude to learn, then only knowledge will come to you, not with your ego and arrogance. And please, when you also have the knowledge, don't show the ego of your knowledge. That is also very detrimental. It will destroy you. So always have humility and humbleness. That is why my Krishna Guruji, when you say anything to him, he said, I don't know, only Krishna knows. He doesn't even acknowledge that he has the knowledge, or he is the Lord Almighty himself. He'll never ever acknowledge. That is called humility. So only when we have these qualities, when we have imbibed this, can we evolve on the path of spirituality. But Sayamdeo stayed on there, trying to serve the master. Guru Nath wanted to test him now. One day, Guru Nath took Sayamdeo along with him to the Sangam. Guru Nath sat down under the Ashwatha tree and went on conversing with him till late after dusk. Then suddenly, stormy wind started blowing. Accompanied by thunder and lightning, there was a very heavy downpour of rain. Sayamdeo was shivering, unable to bear the cold. Nevertheless, he was trying to put up a bold face. Shri Guru Nath told him that he himself was also feeling the cold too much, and therefore he, that is Sayamdeo, should go to Gangapur and bring some fire from there. He told him that he should not look sideways at all, either while going or while returning. Sayamdeo put his own shawl over Guru Nath's shoulders to cover him and to keep his body warm, and then left in the direction of Gangapur. It was pitch dark then, and nothing was visible except when there was flashes of lightning. With great struggle, Sayamdeo was able to reach Gangapur. He put some fire, that is burning coals, in a pot and started on his return journey towards the Sangam, unable to find the way and forgetting Guru Nath's instruction. He looked sideways. What was Guru's instruction? Please remember, the Guru's instruction are extremely important. I'm telling you, it has taken me many years, and even today sometimes I do forget the instructions. Why? Because my mind comes in. So you cannot disobey the Guru. The Guru's instructions have to be followed to the T. And then I'm telling you, then magic happens. Everything happens so smoothly. It is my own personal experience. When I haven't obeyed my Guru, I have failed and I have to take the wrath of his universe. Maya gives two tight slaps. But when you obey the instructions of your Guru Nath, everything will go very smoothly. Things will happen in a magical manner, which you wouldn't even have ever expected. And most important, you will not incur any sins or any karma will accrue to your in your books. It doesn't happen like that. So it is extremely important to follow the instructions of your Guru Dev to the T. This lesson is a very tough lesson to understand. The day, when you have a Guru, the day you learn from him and you learn to follow his instructions and obey to the T, then you will understand how easy it is to evolve on the path of spirituality. But the moment you don't follow his instructions, then you have to take the wrath of the universe and the calamities shall come and wait for you right there to test you. And then you are going to fail. But it's important to go through that path in understanding why it is so important to follow the words of your Guru and his instructions to the T. So let us see what happens to Sayamdeo. He forgot that his Guru Nath told him, instructed him not to look sideways. Just keep coming. But what happened to Sayamdeo? His mind blanked out. This is the job of a mind. So you need to understand, this is the Sayamdeo is you and me. It happens to us. So we need to understand through these anecdotes, these leelas, what we should not do and how should we live on the path of realizing. When we are on the path of spirituality, and how do we live with the Guru is what we need to learn. So coming back, he told him that, okay, unable to find the way and forgetting Guru Nath's instructions, he looked sideways. Oh, there were two huge 5-headed serpents, one each on either side, following him. He got very much frightened and almost lost his way. Struggling much and praying to Guru Nath, he at last managed to reach the Sangam. Lo, what does he find there? There are thousands of lights shining brightly all round. There is the Omkara Nada resounding and the chant of Vedic mantras reverberating everywhere. Oh my God, how beautiful is this experience? Can you imagine? That is called God realization or self-realization. It is so beautiful. How divine it is. This is how the Gurus work. They are magical. Their ways are very unique and you cannot even comprehend. They are incomprehensible. So you need to just have faith in your Guru and do exactly what he ordains you to do. There is the Omkara resounding and the chant of Vedic mantras reverberating everywhere. Guru Nath is seated under the Ashwatha tree, shining with the splendor of thousands of moons and looking like Lord Shiva himself. It was a divine vision. Sayamdeo, dazed by the vision, fell prostrate at Guru Nath's feet. Of course, imagine to get that kind of vision. What can happen to you? It's magic. Only you can surrender to him. He's the Lord, he's the master of this universe. You think any light he needs anything specially out? He doesn't. We don't understand. But when the Guru say, we just have to obey. Why? Because there is something there. That is the reason why they instruct us to do something. Even if you think that the task is very menial or the task has no value, please remember, everything matters when the words are coming from the Guru's mouth. Every instruction matters. The Guru is never saying anything for joke or jest like that. He's always speaking the truth. The words are very profound. Please remember, his word makes that object happen. His word, because of his word, if he says there is water here, there is water here. If he says this is the auspicious day, that is the auspicious day. Even when the whole world believes that today, that day, is not an auspicious day, but just because my Guruji says that day is auspicious day, it is an auspicious day because his word makes the day auspicious. You don't understand the power of the words that come from the Guru's mouth. So never take anything so lightly. It is important that we follow him to the T. His words they are potent. They have the potency to make things happen because he's a desireless being. Anything that comes from his mouth is the gospel truth. Please remember, he's a very powerful being. You don't understand. He's like my Krishna Guruji will say, जब घी सीधी उंगली से नहीं निकलता तो टेढ़ी उंगली से निकलेगा. Means if you don't know, if you don't listen in one go, when he's telling you in a direct manner, then he will use his different methods to make the same thing happen. So why do you want to go through that path? You don't need to, just listen and obey. You will be the most beautiful being. You will become the best disciple, the best devotee, and you will evolve your path on the path of spirituality very smoothly. Things will work out. Even if there is some calamity to befall, the Guru Nath's grace will protect you. So have this faith. His hand of benediction is always on your head. This is the truth you need to understand. So what happened here? How beautiful is this vision? I'm going to read you this chapter, this verse once again. Lo, what does he find there? There are thousands of lights shining brightly all round. There is the Omkara Nada resounding and the chant of Vedic mantras reverberating everywhere. Imagine how beautiful it is. Just imagine that whole, the sound of Omkara Brahma is everywhere. Omkara Nada. How sweet and how divine it is. That's the most beautiful thing that you can ever experience or witness. There is the Omkara Nada resounding and the chant of Vedic mantras reverberating everywhere. Guru Nath is seated under the Ashwatha tree, shining with the splendor of thousands of moons and looking like Lord Shiva himself. Oh my God, imagine. I'm just visualizing. I can't even express how beautiful that can be. To experience something like this, how much of purity of heart and mind and good self you have to be. This doesn't come so easily, this kind of a blessing. You have to be an absolute pure being. Your heart has to be pure. Your mind has to be pure and surrendered to your Gurudev's lotus feet have to be complete. Only then can God realization happen, not otherwise. It was a divine vision. Sayamdeo, dazed by the vision, fell prostrate at Guru Nath's feet. Guru Nath then entered the vision and lifted Sayamdeo, smiled at him and comforted him. He told him that he was very much pleased with his devotion and added that it was he, Guru Nath himself, who sent the two serpents along with him for his protection. Imagine how beautiful it is. This is the way the Guru are compassionate. The love of 1,000 mothers is what we read. No, in endless mothers, there's no, you can't even compare his love to any mother in this world. Come on. It doesn't even happen like that. The Guru Ma is very beautiful. He's very unique. His love is that love of this, the entire universe. Love like an Athanga Sagar, limitless ocean. His love is limitless. There is no limit, there is no boundary. You cannot even measure. It is immeasurable. Such is his love. Such is his profound love. And it is unconditional. He has no expectation, no want, nothing from you. But he only wants to see one thing, and that is how much devotion do you have for him. He wants to see your faith in him. That is all he seeks. Beyond that, he has nothing to expect or ask and seek from you. And what does he say here? Guru Nath entered the vision. He told him that he was very much pleased with his devotion. What did I say? God realization can happen only when the Parabrahma is pleased with you. Then they grant you that vision themselves. That is why it says self-realization. The self will, when it is pleased, will give you the grace to realize. And that is self-realization because that realization happens within you. So here, the Guru Nath himself is the Parabrahman. When the Parabrahma is pleased, then he himself grants that blessing and the boon for you to realize this truth. He told him that he was very much pleased with his devotion and added that it was he, Guru Nath himself, who sent the two serpents along with him for his protection. He further said that he should never forget that Guru Bhakti is the supreme protection in one's life and its power is incomparable. Oh my God. What is it saying here? He further said that he should never forget the Guru Bhakti is the supreme protection in one's life and its power is incomparable. You know what? You should all underline this one line and keep it, embedded in your heart. The power of the Guru Bhakti, nobody understands. When you have the highest of your Guru Bhakti, that itself is the greatest of the protection in your life and its power is incomparable. There is nobody in this world, there is no power in the world that they can cause any harm to you. Such is the firewall of the Guru's grace around you, his blessings. I'll always tell my Krishna Guruji, you know what I'll tell him? I'll tell him that, your blessing is always a firewall around me. There is nobody who can even do any harm to me. Even whether the Guru is physically present or not, please remember, his blessing, the benediction of his grace is like a firewall around you. And if anybody tries to cause any harm, it will affect them, not you. Please remember. So never ever mess with anybody who's very devoted to the Guru Dev, and don't try to mess with them. You should understand this. And in the chapter, in the first or second chapter, we learned about how, in that the Guru Nath is teaching a very interesting lesson. In that he's saying, the Kali Purusha, don't trouble the devotees of the Guru, because the Guru's power is on them. The grace of benediction is on them. You cannot go and disturb, the devotees of the Guru. And if you do so, then you are going to be in trouble. And in that it is very beautifully explained to the Kali Purusha not to trouble the devotees of the Guru Nath. This is the power that you hold. And please be devoted to your Guru Dev. That is all you need to have. Everything else, he will take care. Don't bother what you should get, why you should get, when you should get. Does not matter. Just do what he's asking you to do and life will become beautiful. Obey his command. Follow his instructions to the T. That is what is important. Discipline your life. Follow whatever is teaching you. Arduous effort. Put all that effort possible and magic will happen. I am telling you this. But also remember, it is not so easy to serve the Guru and it is not so easy to attain that highest form of Guru Bhakti. And most important, it is not so easy to follow his instruction because your mind is ever going to come. What happened even to Sayamdeo? He forgot at the Guru Nath's instruction not to look at right or left. But he did. So, but at least even then, he worshipped his Guru. His faith was absolute. So what is Guru Nath saying here? I was pleased with your devotion. So this is the level of devotion you need to have. The Guru can send you, even he might, you might be feeling cold. He might send you in the dark. He might send you wherever. But please remember, his grace of protection is always there in whatever form, which you cannot see. So never question this great master. Always obey his command and follow his instructions and be on the path of righteousness. Magic will happen. Even if you are not a devotee of a Guru, even if you believe in the Divine Lord Almighty, whatever that is, but if you follow the righteous path, life will be beautiful and God's grace will always be on your head. So Sayamdeo requested Guru Nath to tell him about Guru Bhakti Mahima. Oh my God, this is very, very beautiful. Let us understand what is it all about. Guru Nath said he would narrate what Lord Shiva told Parvati about Guru Bhakti Mahima. In the line of Brahma, there was one boy born who was named Twasta. When the boy attained Upanayana age, the Upanayana ceremony was performed by the father and the boy was sent to the Gurukul. Gurukul means what? Where the Guru lives. Kul also means it is the place, the lineage. He comes from a Kul. Gurukul, it is the family, the lineage of that Guru, where you are part of that family, that lineage, and it also means a place where the Guru lives, where you want to go and learn. It is his school. The boy was sent to the Gurukul. The boy was serving the Guru very dutifully. One day, there was a big storm, and the Guru's cottage collapsed and its roof was blown off. The Guru called Twasta and told him, "You must build me a good, strong house. It should look beautiful and should have all comforts." The Guru's wife then came and told Twasta, "You should get me a good dress. It should not be woven of thread. It should look very beautiful and fit me well." Then the Guru's son came and told Twasta, "You should get me a pair of shoes just of the correct size for me. The shoes should be such that mud will never stick to them and they will never get soiled. And further, I should be able to walk with them even on water, and they should be able to take me instantly to wherever I just think of going. Then the Guru's daughter came and said, "You should get me ornaments for my ears and an ivory toy house made from the single tusk of an elephant." Isn't that some unachievable tasks and asks? "You should also get me utensils for cooking. They should be such that they will not turn black with soot when food is cooked in them." Wow. Twasta was at a loss to know as to how he would be able to procure all these and fulfill the demands. But he felt confident and certain that his Guru's grace alone will help him to fulfill all the demands of the Guru and his family. See, this is what is called about faith. You might be put to test, you might be asked things that you will find quite challenging. But when you have the trust in your Guru, when you have that absolute faith in the Guru, that he will guide you along the path and show you a way to fulfill whatever the task he has asked you to perform, the Guru himself will see to that it is done. But what does the Guru want to see? He wants to see your faith in the Guru himself, and the next is the faith to see whether you're going to fear and say, "I can't do it, how can I?" You're going to come up with negatives, or you're going to say, "Of course I will be able to do it." He's going to see whether you have the ability to say, "I can, I will, I conquer." That is exactly what he wants to see. Or whether you're going to say, "Oh my God, how will I do it?" We all want to give negatives. You think you can't do this? Of course, when the grace of the Guru is on your head, what makes you think you can't achieve this? Remember, the Guru is putting this task to you because he knows you're capable of achieving it. Otherwise, why is he going to give you the task? He's going to find somebody else if you are incapable. Isn't it that so? So never ever think that you're incapable of anything. You need to understand the truth is you have to empower this God within yourself who is always there waiting to guide you in the right direction and empower to achieve that which you think is impossible. And please remember, the word impossible also says, "I am possible." But who is the one who's always giving the negatives? It is your mind. And the mind itself is what you have to overcome or ask it to shut up and show that, train your mind in such a way that it opens up the possibilities and shows you the way of achieving a particular task. Twasta was at a loss to know as to how he would be able to procure all these and fulfill the demands. But he felt confident. What did he feel? Confident and certain that his Guru's grace alone will help him to fulfill all the demands of the Guru and his family. Twasta, praying to his Guru, only started walking towards the nearby forest. He sat down there, praying to his Guru that he should help him to fulfill all the demands and to get through this ordeal. As he was praying thus, all of a sudden, an Avadut appeared before him. The boy was overjoyed at seeing him. The Avadut inquired of him as to what was worrying him. Who's the Avadut, you think? His Gurudev himself. The boy told him the impossible tasks set to him by his Guru and his Guru's family members, and that he was at a loss to know how he would be able to discharge them all satisfactorily. The Avadut then said, "Dear child, do not despair about this. You will surely succeed. There is nothing impossible for those who win Lord Vishveshwara's grace. It is through Lord Vishveshwara's grace only that Brahma could earn the capacity to create the worlds. It is through Vishveshwara's grace again that Vishnu could gain the capacity to sustain the creation and to grant the prayers of his devotees. Therefore, for success in fulfilling the demands of your Guru, you go to Kashi, serve Lord Vishveshwara there and earn his grace. He will certainly bless you. He will make you even Vishwakarma and will enable you to earn an eternal name and fame." How beautiful. See, the Guru himself will give you the answer and solutions and everything. What is the most important thing is your Shraddha and Saburi. And the most important lesson is to do. Doing is a must. Giving up, everybody can. Not believing, having disbelief in your Guru, everybody can. But having the confidence, that faith, my Guru will make it happen. He will show me the way. And he's only going to see how much are you going to wear yourself out to make that happen. That is what the Guru is interested. The Avadhuta continued, therefore, I advise you to visit Kashi. You should undertake there the Pancha Krosha Yatra in and around Kashi, visiting all the holy shrines and the tirthas therein. The Pancha Krosha Yatra will earn for one as much merit as one gets through the performance of an Ashwamedha Yajna. Even thousand-tongued Adishesha cannot describe adequately the merit that accrues by pilgrimage to Kashi. Imagine such greatness and profoundness are there. We think just visiting Kashi is like some one holy trip. No, there is so much merit. What is he saying? Even the thousand-tongued Adishesh cannot describe adequately the merit that accrues by pilgrimage to Kashi. Twasta said, "Oh Mahatma, where is Kashi? How far is it? I am a lad. How can I reach there?" Then the Avadhut said, "I will also come along with you to Kashi. Thereby, I too will get the merit of Lord Vishveshwara's darshan." Saying thus, the Avadhut took the boy to the holy Kashi in a trice, just like that, magic. Through the power of his siddhis. What did I say? The Gurus and Avadhut and everybody around them have the siddhis. They're always waiting, Ashta siddhis. They're always there to serve the master. They say Tatastu, magic happens. Twasta was overjoyed. He said, "Oh Mahatma, you are indeed Lord Vishveshwara. You have come to save me. Please let me know in detail what places are to be visited, what rites are to be done, and explain to me the whole Kashi Yatra Vidhana fully." So today, we're almost at the end. We have finished this chapter, but we will start this beautiful lesson tomorrow, which is in continuation, which now the Mahatma is going to tell Twasta what is the Kashi Yatra Vidhana, means the procedure, the right path to follow the Kashi Yatra, and how he is going to serve Lord Vishveshwara to get the Guru's demands and Guru and his family's demands fulfilled in a satisfactory manner. Let us also figure out, how Twasta has this absolute faith, what all the ordeals he goes through, and how his faith in his Guru makes him fulfill that Guru's task. This is the story about faith in the words of your Guru. And most important is, how is a Guru? What is his Charitra, the nature? The whole Guru Charitra is giving you an understanding who this Guru is and who is this Avadhuta. I would like to read out a small, what is mentioned here as to who an Avadhut is, because I keep using this word Avadhuta. You need to understand who is this Avadhuta is. One of the attributes of an attributeless and formless infinity. Avadhut means what? He's one who is one of the attributes. His attributes of an attributelessness. He doesn't even have any attributes, but that is the attribute of him. Manifesting in a finite human form. What has he done? Manifested in a finite human form. An Avadhut is beyond the boundaries. Grants only benedictions. What does he do? Grants only benedictions and grace on whoever comes in contact with him. Whoever comes in contact with him, he doesn't see you're my friend, you're my foe. Everyone is equal to this Avadhut. Please remember, he's an Avadhuta. Lord Dattatreya, the Guru of all Gurus, and his incarnations as regarded as Avadhuts. And what is it saying here? Lord Dattatreya, the Guru of all Gurus. He's a supreme master. He's the Param Guru. He's a supreme master. And all his incarnations are regarded as Avadhuts. Lord Dattatreya is the only avatar who has not come to destroy evil. What has he not come to do? He's not come here to destroy evil. He conquers evil. Wow, isn't that so powerful? He conquers evil. Normal human beings cannot respond to the attributeless and formless infinity. That is the reason why God, out of immense compassion, manifests as a human being so that the devotees can enjoy the presence of God. This is the true meaning of an Avadhuta. I hope you understood today. So with that, we end this chapter. Thus ends the 41st chapter of Shri Guru Charitra describing Kashi Kand Yatra. Glory to the all-merciful, the omnipresent and the ever-responsive Guru Nath. Thank you for joining Shri Guru Charitra Satsang. Wishing you all a very happy Wednesday and have a wonderful day ahead. Om Shri Mahaganapate Namaha, Om Shri Gurudev Datta, Om Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Digambara Digambara, Shripad Vallabha Digambara, Om Shri Krishna Guru Nath Nata, Shri Guruve Namaha, Om Devi Durgaya Namaha, Om Shri Krishna Arpanam Namastu, Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. So, chapter 42, Lord Vishwanath's grace on Twasta. This chapter describes Twasta's Kashi Yatra and how he earned Lord Vishweshwara's grace and was able to fulfill all the impossible demands of his Guru and his family members. This chapter teaches us that there is nothing which cannot be achieved through faith.